Hello everybody, welcome to another investigator guide for new players. Today we're talking about Carolyn Fern, the psychologist. This deck is built with new players in mind, so we built it with the core set and the cycle in which this character is from. It's built with two core sets. If you only have one core set, we highly recommend you pick up another or proxy the cards you don't have. I promise you it will make you win more. As well, this actually is relevant for this video. This deck is built without the taboo list in mind because if you're playing for the first time, we recommend as well don't play with the taboo list. Play as the cards as they were originally printed, and then once you start winning, worry about making the game, I don't want to say harder, but different. Travis, Carolyn Fern was on your top 5 favorite investigators, which is a video on our channel. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. I'll let you take the lead on this one. So why don't you talk about Carolyn?
Yeah. Carolyn's one of my favorite investigators because she's so flexible in what she can do. She's a blue guardian, but you'll notice that she has only 2 punch, and she doesn't like fighting. You play much more like a support role. You get to play lots of really neat cards that you otherwise wouldn't, lots of card combinations that you don't get to see otherwise. So the big thing Carolyn brings to your team is she has 3 brain, 4 book, which are her strong stats. The book means you're going to be, apart from supporting your teammates, you're going to be looking at getting clues, not fighting monsters. 3 brain and 2 foot means you're like okay at fighting the encounter deck, but not great. Looking at her signature assets here, hypnotherapy just like ties into her ability. It really, you might feel like her ability of like when you heal someone, they get a resource is like half an ability. Hypnotherapy is the other half of that, where it lets you heal horror from your investigators on demand, and it also ties a card draw into that resource gain. And it also supports your other brain healy cards, which I don't think there's any other ones in this deck, but that's because they're really not great from this cycle. Yeah, and then she's got a weakness, rational thought, which just says it just puts you behind. Like most time, you're not healing horror off your teammates. You're not relying on that as a way to keep them alive. It's just a way to generate resources, and with the hypnotherapy cards. And when you draw a rational thought, like unless you're really far ahead in the scenario, like you just stop doing that and do other things instead. Mm-hmm. Unless it's like if it's very early in the scenario, you might want to take the time to get it over with. But
yeah, let's dive into the deck because when I was building this one, I think it's pretty fun. I think it'll be a pretty fun deck to play. So we're gonna start with the core cards. We have Flashlight. Flashlight is a way to just investigate better, and when you're just starting out with just the core set and the cycle, this is a good thing to start with that you can eventually grow out of, but don't overlook the power of Flashlight when you're just starting out. It's pretty strong. Magnifying Glass, which also helps with investigating, which is what you're going to be doing as well with Carolyn Fern. Her 4-book base is very good for that. And then we got Dr. Milan Christopher, which... Travis, why talk about him? This is his non-taboo list. This is as printed, and he's very strong this way.
Yeah, a lot of your cards cost you a lot of money, and Dr. Milan makes you money for free.
Yeah,
he gives you money for playing the game, and makes your book better.
Yep.
Like you only have to investigate. So if you're playing with 3 people, and you need, like for example, you're gonna need it scales with the number of clues you need scales with the amount of people in the game. Looking at the cards from the tarot cards from this cycle, actually, we have sort of a baseline for what +1 to a skill costs, and it's about 3. Maybe like 2.5 or whatever, but Dr. Milan only costs 4. And he also takes a brain damage fee before he dies, potentially a heart and a brain. He gives you just flat 1 book, and after you investigate 4 times, which, like I said, scaling with players, a lot of the times you're going to need like 12 clues or whatever. That's only a third of the clues that you need. He pays for himself, and then everything else he just gives you is just free stuff.
Yep.
It's so good. And then you don't even have to heal yourself to get money. You can just heal your teammates and give them money.
Yeah. If you are curious, the taboo version does. He exhausts. Like, it's only once per turn. He gives you the resources. So he's still very good, but he's like very, 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 very good as he is printed. He gives you money so quickly. It's insane. Then we got First Aid, which is one of the healing cards. Travis, I'll let you lead this one again, like what you're looking for.
First Aid's like not good, really. The upgrade version is much better, but you can't play that with just this cycle in the core set. It gets marginally better when you get to heal 2 brains with the hypnotic therapy.
Yeah.
And like you can heal a heart from someone in a pinch, but like for the most part, it's really meh.
Yeah, it is better with Carolyn because, as you said, with hypnotic therapy, and then also they can gain a resource, so there's more happening with it.
Yeah, like usually I will sometimes play level 0 First Aid in my Carolyn decks, but that's usually as a reminder to upgrade it.
Yeah.
And so I don't have to think about what I'm going to cut for it, but like it's functional, but I'm not super happy about playing it in this deck.
What is the upgrade of First Aid from? What cycle, or is it from the return?
I think it's Dunwich.
Dunwich?
I think so.
It's something that you can, if you have more, this is an easy thing for you to upgrade into. But let's go on to the next set of cards. Forbidden Knowledge.
Yeah, again, your cards cost, a lot of your good cards cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
the horror is not really
like
a big
kind
deal.
of free.
Yeah, it's not really a big deal with Carolyn because...
Yeah, you can heal yourself very easily.
Yeah. Drawn to the Flame, you get clues for free. You just have to draw a Treachery card, which for Carolyn isn't too big of a deal. And if you take Horror, which is most common from these, you can just be like, it's fine. That's a problem I'm going to solve eventually. And it gets you 2 free clues. Wow.
2 clues.
Carolyn can't use weapons, but that doesn't stop her from bringing some dynamite to the party.
She can use level 0 weapons.
She can use level 0 weapons.
Oh.
Yeah, but they're just not good with 2-punch.
But Dynamite Blast is good to go.
Yeah, like I said, you get lots of ways to make resources, and this is one of those cards that's super expensive, but 3 damage to a bunch of enemies is so good.
Yep. And it's badass,
Like,
too. The psychologist being like, let's go, throws a dynamite in. That's sick.
You can call this one Explosion Therapy.
We also got Water Protection, which is...
Okay, Bryn, let's see if you've been paying attention. Why is Water Protection good?
What?
I said, let's see if you've been paying attention. Why is Water Protection good?
Oh, because you get to cancel the game's turn. But also you take a horror and you can heal that off yourself and gain your money back, and that's pretty good. It's like a little better than normal here.
Yay.
We did it. But yeah, Travis said...
me explain it for 4 videos.
Yeah, and Travis said it also in the previous video. It's a disservice not to run, right? You need, if someone can tap into this color, you're going to want someone to be playing Water Protection.
Yeah, if you can see any percentage less Ancient Evils,
that's a good scenario.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good. If you haven't Water Protection and Ancient Evil, just you wait. All right. We got Guts. Hey, it's still in every deck. Guts is good. The reason is
good.
It's because of your brain. That's how the game more often than not fights you. So being able to bump that up and then get a card out of it is great. It's just a win all around, right? It's strong.
Yeah. Guts is quietly one of the best level 0 colorless cards in the game because unlike the other 3 skills, you don't have to be planning to use that stat.
Yep.
For it to be good. The game will make you do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unexpected Courage is like a Guts, but also every other ones, you just don't get to draw a card. So it's strong. It's very good. Let's go on over to the Curse Cycle.
Before we move into the other stuff, there's a couple more core set cards that like you could play.
Sure.
You could play like a more mystic focused Carolyn deck where you play Holy Rosary to bump up your brain, and then also Shriveling to be able to fight things pretty good. That being said, I think that that might be a better option for like if you're playing with 2 players, but when you have 3 or 4 players, I think that the full support and like a little bit of clue getting Carolyn is better.
Yeah, very strong. I agree with that. You good to go?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so from the Circle Undone, now we get it. I finally did it. I finally smarted up, and I have now the bonded cards with their matching thing. He's done it,
Incredible.
folks. He's learning. It only took him 14 videos? Anyway, Travis, I don't know these cards. You can just take them.
Occult Lexicon goes in your hand, which is only you only have use for your hands is holding flashlights and sometimes magnifying glasses. Bloodright is like kind of a dumb card. I kind of don't like that it exists for yellow, but like it's so good. So you get 3 copies of Bloodright into your deck when you play the Occult Lexicon, and then one of them goes into your hand. The other 2 get shuffled into your deck. It lets you draw 2 cards, then discard up to 2 cards in your hand. For each card you discard, you can either gain a resource or spend a resource to deal damage to enemy your location, and this action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. This is one of the few ways that Carolyn has to deal with monsters that isn't just blowing them the hell up with Dynamite Blast.
This brings me back to Dunwich Legacy when yellow could just solve any problem that showed up.
Yeah, like this card, this is like kind of insane. Like not only does it filter out situationally bad cards into potentially better cards, it either gives you resources or you can spend your resource, which you probably have a million of, to just do free testless damage to things while still filtering through your deck. And no, like the 2 other copies go into your deck, so it's drawing you closer to getting your other copies of Bloodright as well. Mm-hmm. This card's like actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Hallowed Mirror is another one. I'm going to read it. I don't know what it does, so I'll let someone else take this one.
This is like a necklace.
Yeah, it is a necklace. I can see that.
Yeah, this is like a sort of a mirror. The book. It allows you to same deal. You play, you get 1 copy in your hand or 2 into your deck, I believe, and then it's like 0 event. You get to heal 2 damage or 2 horror or any combination of that from among investigators and/or ally assets your location. Then you draw a card, so it replaces itself, and it's just free healing.
Yeah.
You actually make money on this with Carolyn, or you can like heal an extra stat with your hypnotic therapy. Like it's so good.
Yeah, it seems very good.
Yeah, if you heal things that either belong to or like 2 different investigators, you also get to double up on your passive ability.
Yeah.
Or your reaction ability, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Like, my least favorite thing about Hallowed Mirror and Occult Lexicon is because they're so fiddly with the bonded cards, but they're so good that I have a hard time not including them in decks that can play them.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like the play ones that way. I don't like the limit 1 per deck as a balancing mechanism, personally. But
I'm with you. I don't. This isn't a video for us to talk about this, but when I was building this deck, I was like, I'm just with you. I'm with you, Travis.
I just don't like the way it feels, especially since, like, for some cards like the Hungering Blade, it makes sense because it's like the Hungering Blade. There's one of them, but this is just a Hallowed Mirror. Like, everyone can have one.
Yeah.
But you're only allowed to have one.
But look, it has stars in front of it, Travis. It's special.
Yeah, it's like that Harry Potter mirror or whatever, where you look into it and you see free money and healing.
Yeah. I should get one of those mirrors. Holy cow. All right.
It does sound pretty good.
Alice Luxley. She gives you a book, and after you discover a clue, exhaust her to deal 1 damage to an enemy or location. Travis, I'm curious for this one in here, because you only have 1 ally slot, so what's the plan going with this? What would you advise new players?
She's not as generically good as Dr. Milan Christopher, but she does... Typically, you should be not relying on Carolyn to be like your only investigator, and definitely not your only fighter. She plays a lot like sort of a red or a purple character, or even a green one, I guess, in some capacity. Though green characters are usually a little more specialized to one side or the other. Where you just kind of like fill in the cracks, smooth stuff over for your team. And usually it's better to like sort of lean towards the clues because you can never get enough clues. Because usually when you have all the clues, the game's over.
Yeah, exactly.
But like for monsters, you can have no monsters and have all these cards to deal with them, and then you're like, well, I can't do anything with them. But Alice Luxley is kind of the mirror to Dr. Milan Christopher, where she still provides a book, but she also shoots things, which is nice sometimes, and just kind of provides a little bit of extra damage if you really need that. I wouldn't feel bad about like removing her from the deck assuming your other 2 players have the monster situation handled. But it's just another option.
Let me ask this for starting players, because Charisma is actually probably one of the easiest cards to proxy in the sense that you can just write on a piece of paper, I have Charisma, and put it next to your deck. Would you think that Charisma would be good to allow her to play both of these allies, or is that like a low priority thing when it comes to upgrading?
Um, Let me double check what kind of cards she can upgrade.
But while Travis is doing
Consider it.
this,
Yeah, one of the other things that Alice Luxley does also do for this deck is provide a book pump that isn't one of her limited yellow or purple cards.
yeah, good point.
You are only allowed to play like 10-ish or 15 or something. So. Yeah, like you could just play the charisma and have the like having 6 book is sweet.
Yeah, oh yeah. 6
Like
book and then gaining a
if you were
resource every time you
committed,
investigate.
you could definitely go that route and include like unexpected or emergency cash to be able to play them more consistently, and then you don't have to worry so much about like flashlight and magnifying glass. But
So it's a route you can take. I think the point is also that all this is if there's a card you're looking to proxy that you don't have from the Dunwich Legacy, Charisma, permanent cards like Charisma or Relic Hunter are probably the easiest to proxy. Like I've read people online say they don't even bring it out of their binder. They just remember that they bought Charisma, right? Because it's just there. But let's go back. Crack the case. Let's talk about that one, Travis.
free money.
Free money. Don't need to say anything else.
Yeah. More importantly, like it's free money for someone else.
Yeah.
There's one thing that Carolyn is very good at doing is enabling blue and yellow characters who have, or like I mean like any class, but especially blue and yellow because they have expensive things to play their big fancy assets that they normally might not be able to afford.
Yeah. Carolyn wants everyone to be the best they can be.
Yeah.
And she does not stop until that happens.
She's not really a psychologist, more of like a life coach sort of deal.
Yeah, definitely. We got Deny Existence, which is like saying no to the game,
But different.
And it's just going to get better. Just you wait, everybody at home. Just
Yeah,
you
like
wait.
Carolyn actually has like one of the best defensive decks that you can like it's so easy to just ignore the game when you're Carolyn.
Yeah,
like you
'cause,
get
I mean, like, not
Deny Existence and Word Protection.
and like the whole aspect of healing actually isn't too common in this game. And having her that be her whole thing and being able to build around it and like just have that be like her focus is very good at making sure you stay alive. Because the majority of the time, the healing we recommend is just getting more stats for people, right? Like getting more things to sink things into, right? Being able to actually remove stuff, you can do it, but it's not like.
Well, yeah, it's better to like if you need more health and more brains, it's better to like play another ally that functionally does that, but also moves you forward. Whereas like if you're spending resources to heal, you're not spending resources to win the game. You're spending resources to prevent yourself from losing, which means like the game's never going to run out of resources. It's going to keep hitting you.
Yeah.
Whereas you are eventually going to run out of resources, and if you're not moving closer to winning the game, then you're losing.
And Carolyn does this while not running out of resources, which makes her very strong and very helpful. We have Curiosity, only a one of, because this card can sometimes just sit in your hand and do nothing, but when you get it going, it's very good.
Yeah, like it provides a lot of the big brain boost is nice, and Carolyn's like every once in a while you just end up with a big pile of cards in your hand that you haven't had the opportunity to play because they cost a million resources or whatever, and this helps take advantage of that a little bit.
Yep. All right. And then we got Steadfast, which is going to be very easy to trigger because you're feeling fine.
Yeah, +3 brain is good.
Yes.
And then giving someone else +3 fist is good too.
Yep, definitely. All right, let's get to some upgrades. From the core set, there's not much. I remember that's in your little write-up too. There's not many upgrades for her.
That's because she's so limited in what she can play with her. She has really weird deck building restrictions comparative to other investigators.
So there's upgraded magnifying glass, which makes it fast and you can return it to your hand. So that could be something you could do to get your curiosity going or other things if you need to play other cards into your hand slot. And then we got police badge, which bumps up the brain and also gives additional actions. And the only thing that takes up the necklace slot is the mirror. The mirror, yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially Holy Rosary if you choose to go that route.
Yeah, yeah. And then this is where things get really exciting. There's some good stuff here.
Very good stuff.
Yeah, Travis, I'll let you take it.
Actually, Brim, why don't you tell them why I've had worse is so incredible?
Well, firstly, have you ever thought about the games where you die? I've had worse stop stat. Plus, it's just fun to say. You know, the game's like take 2 damage, and you're like, I've had worse.
Yeah.
gain some resources instead. But yeah, like it costs 0. It's fast. It is effectively an economy card while preventing the game from playing.
Yep.
This card is just very strong. If you have access to it, it's probably worth thinking about at least.
Yeah, like for two experience isn't too costly, especially for blue. Like if you can get over the I have to buy 10 experience worth of guns.
Yeah.
You really don't. But
we then got Death 13. This card increases one of your stats, a very relevant stat, and if it's in your opening hand, you get to put it into play for free. Wow.
yeah, +1 book is just good to have.
Yep. And in a slot
Yeah,
that there's no competition in because all you have is Death 13.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Take Ace of Swords?
Oh, no, don't. Trust me. I thought it was good, but I found that I was just reading the card wrong.
So what about Ace of Swords Meat Cleaver Carolyn though?
I don't think Meat Cleaver's in this cycle. I thought that was like Dream Eaters.
I'm gonna find out. I'll find out. Travis, let me talk about Esoteric Atlas while I'm doing this.
Yeah, so like,
Oh, no.
if you watch our oh no,
It's okay, we're good.
if you watch our videos, like Shortcut's a really good yellow card, and Esoteric Asset is like that but different. It lets you move around for free and get free actions. Helps you, like, you can clear the clues off an area and then catch up with your guardian, whoever's protecting you from monsters, or the other way around. You can leave them to fight with monsters and then go get clues somewhere else. Just mobility's nice. Free actions are fun and good.
Yeah, I think one of the best things that Esoteric Atlas does is allow you to move somewhere while skipping over a location.
Yeah.
So, maybe that location's infested with monsters that you can't kill. And you don't have dynamite.
Yeah, not a problem.
You can just pretend that place doesn't exist this turn.
Yeah.
Or there's a location you got to move through. Like maybe you're on a train and moving through locations is going to cost you something, and you're just like, well, I'll just hang out here, and then once you clear the next one, I'll just skip it. Pretend that location doesn't exist.
So Meat Cleaver is from this cycle, but I think it's too wild. I think what Travis has done here is a lot. You'll win more. You'll win more.
Deny Existence 5. There's actually a bug on like Arkham DB where this card can't be played. It says that Carolyn can't play this, but she definitely can because it heals horror. It says that in the text, so she can play it. Deny Existence is like
so good.
Yeah.
Have you ever
it's
wanted
the
to
ultimate like screw you to the game.
Yeah. Have you ever wanted to say no to the game while also saying yes to yourself? Just
yeah, the game's just like, take 3 damage. You're like, no thanks, I'll heal 3 instead.
And then the game shocked Pikachu face.
Yeah.
What?
I want you to discard your hand. You're like, I'll draw like 5 cards instead.
Shock Pikachu face. No.
Lose all your resources. No thanks, I'll double them.
Wow. It just feels amazing.
Yeah, Carolyn's a lot of fun to play. Would recommend trying her, even though she seems weird and kind of scary initially. But like, you get to do a lot of fun stuff. And Dynamite Blast in particular. This is one of the few places I think Dynamite Blast is like really good, and would almost always play it in my Carolyn deck. And you never really live, so you just like pack Dynamite Blast into a group of monsters. Your teammates are like, no, and you're like, don't worry, I've had worse. And you only take 1 damage, and they're all dead.
I will say that I think Travis built a very good 2-player Carolyn deck here. She could fit that investigator side really well here in a 2-player game, while keeping the fighter alive. And I just think this deck makes me want this whole thing makes me want to play Carolyn. I've never played her, but I think there's a lot of fun there, and she seems very strong.
She's a very, very good support.
All right, well,
I'm amazed you haven't played Carolyn, Justin. She can play Peter Sylvester.
She can.
Oh.
Yeah, Carolyn's like actually absurdly strong with like a lot of other. You can have like ridiculous economy with Forbidden Knowledge and Pete Sylvester, where you just like put Brain on him and then you get a resource for it, and then you heal him and you get a resource for it.
Oh no.
Like Carolyn's really, really strong and has huge build flexibility outside of her cycle.
If you tell me that someone plays Pete, I'm interested. Pete is my favorite investigator. So yeah, if we missed any cards that for other cycles, in this cycle or other cycles that you would recommend, comment down below. Thanks for watching. Punch that like button if you like this video. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.